Welcome to Inspired Living with Mark and Kim. Every Wednesday, Mark and Kim, along with their special guests, will explore thought-provoking topics and ideas that promote creativity, self-help, healing, happiness, and well-being to inspire you on your spiritual journey. Each week, Mark and Kim will discuss different paths to achieving a more spiritual, balanced, happy, and healthy lifestyle. Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience, and all things spiritual. Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. Mark and Kim are tested, certified, and professional spiritual mediums, metaphysical teachers, healers, and spiritual advisors with their own individual spiritual practices in Seattle, Washington, and Los Angeles, California. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Mark and I took, feeling very well rested and ready to get back into the groove of things. For all of us here in the States, I hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. Summer break has officially ended. For everyone else in the world who celebrated or went through the summer months at the same time as we did, hope your summer months were great as well. And hope that you all enjoyed our encore shows these last 2 weeks with Panache Desai and Mavis Patilla. Speaking of Mavis, I want to share a quote that I posted on our Inspired Living Facebook page the other day, inspired by world-renowned medium Mavis Patilla, and it goes as follows. Give thanks to God for all that you have been and all that you are and all that you shall become. And I thought this quote was really fitting for the topic of conversation today here on Inspired Living with Mark and Kim as we talk about ageless beauty. Yes, that's right. Today we're celebrating and giving thanks for all that we shall become, which means celebrating getting older. But first, I'm Kim Thalkin, founder of Love First, where life transformations happen in Encino, California. If you're interested in understanding your life from a deeper perspective through readings where you'll receive guidance from your soul, your angels, and your team of guides, or perhaps you're interested in shifting your energy with energy healings, or working with the power of your mind through hypnotherapy, or perhaps looking to further your spiritual development, please contact me. I love the work that I do, and I would be honored to work with you. You can find me at lovefirst.info, lovefirst.info. And welcoming in now my co-host who has been busy, but yet always manages to put a smile on our faces, Mark Lanehart, the intuitive prospector. Mark, how are you?
Hello, Kim. Hello, inspired listeners. I am great. I'm a little sad that summer's over, to be honest with you. I always enjoy the summer because that's a good time to get out into nature and go hiking, and finished it off with a bang. We went up to a place called Monte Cristo. It's an 8-mile hike here in Seattle, Washington, and it's an old mining town from the 1890s with the original structures and all the props. And so we finished out the summer in style with a spiritual hike that I like to do. So, but a little sad that summer's over.
I saw those pictures, Mark. I mean, boy, how can you not be inspired with that beauty up there that just surrounds you everywhere?
Yeah, and just to go back to 100 years ago and to see the actual original structures and the old railroad bridge that you could actually turn. It's a railroad bridge that you can actually it's on a swivel, so you could actually push it, and that's how they got their supplies in and out across the river and stuff. So yeah, just a fantastic way to finish summer. And I'm excited to be back on the airwaves, Kim. We took 2 weeks off. We thought it would be important just to have our summer vacation, and we ran two great shows. Panache and Mavis are two fabulous guests that we've had on the show, and maybe we'll get them back in 2017.
Yes, it's always nice to rest and recuperate. I'm ready to hit the ground running, Mark. I'm excited to be back. I'm actually looking forward to the fall months
Yeah.
and the holidays coming up. My goodness,
You
but
bet.
here we are. Mark, would you like to tell our listeners where they can find us on social media? We also have an inspired affirmation for the month, being the first Wednesday of September.
You bet. Yeah, the pumpkins are out. Football's about to start. It's definitely fall. So let me start with our September positive affirmation. We think it's always important to have a affirmation that we run every month, and that folks, inspired listeners around the world, can practice. Get up every day, say it throughout the day, and it actually, Kim, ties into your quote that you had from Mavis, and I think with today's guest as well. And today's positive affirmation for the month of September is: my obstacles are moving out of my way. My path is carved towards greatness. Again, my obstacles are moving out of my way. My path is carved towards greatness. And who doesn't want to have greatness in their life? Kim, I did post a live video feed on our Inspired Living radio page over on Facebook. The call-in lines, we have new call-in lines. We're not going to be taking calls until the second half of the show. But if you want to follow along with us on social media, you can follow us at Facebook under Inspired Living Radio, under Twitter at Inspired For Us, that's the number 4, Instagram, Inspired For Us, Google Plus Communities under Inspired Living with Mark and Kim. And if you do miss this live show, you can catch any of our encore shows over on OMTimes Radio Archives, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Podbean, or I just updated my site at marklaneHart.com. And if you do want to work with me and the work that I'm doing here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington, please visit marklaneHart.com or just internet search The Intuitive Prospector. I, too, would love to work with you on your spiritual path.
So, Mark, we have got an exciting guest with us today, Cindy Joseph, and we are going to be talking about ageless beauty and empowerment and all kinds of great things. She's a cover model, a makeup artist. She's the founder and CEO of Boom by Cindy Joseph. And she has an exciting concept in makeup that reveals how a woman's genuine beauty can be honest and realistic. And as women confront societal messages that challenge their self-esteem, Cindy's guiding them to a new path by sharing how she has come to celebrate herself and her life at every age. Cindy's message is energizing and inspiring women of all ages to raise their consciousness and confidence in relation to not only their age, but their size, color, and shape. Her talent of using makeup to enhance a woman's natural beauty by allowing her character and personality to shine through rather than masking has been invaluable to helping women overcome society's growing emphasis on superficial beauty and self-esteem issues. At 49 years of age, she started her modeling career, and today Cindy runs her empire, Boom, and is represented by Iconic Focus for special bookings, including her 2016 Chico's campaign and 5-year worldwide Nivea campaign outside of the U.S. Cindy points out that it's time to throw out the archaic anti-age point of view and step into the powerful realization that every woman can have fun, passion, sensuality, wisdom, and beauty throughout her entire life, not just halfway through it. Cindy speaks about these subjects and more on her weekly video blog, Saturdays with Cindy, which you can find at boombycindyjoseph.com. You can see or speak at TEDx Talk, YouTube, and Facebook. Cindy, welcome to Inspired Living. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Welcome, Cindy. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. That was an incredible introduction. Thank you so much. And your show sounds fascinating, and everything you said up until this moment of introducing me. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
Well, you know, your voice is so soothing, Cindy. I was listening to your videos on your website, and it's just pleasing, comfortable, nice to listen to, and you offer such great great advice to women out there that can really be applied to men as well, because as men age, as we all age, we all experience some of these the things that we're going to be talking about today, right? How we feel about ourselves and embracing change.
Absolutely. And one of the things I would love to clarify right from the get-go is I am not talking about ageless beauty. I am talking about ageful beauty.
Ageful beauty. That's right.
I like
embracing our age as we get older.
Yes, and as you get older, you don't become ageless. You become more ageful. So your age shows. You have lines. You have silver hair. Your body's got scars, and everything everything shows. These are all signs. These are all badges. They're medals of honor that we can wear proudly and be excited about. So I have age in my face. And if somebody thinks that I'm beautiful, I say thank you. And it's age-full beauty, not ageless. And interestingly, a newborn baby has beauty, a toddler has beauty, an adolescent person has beauty all the way through our lives until we're gone. So if you're 86 or 110 or 25, when you depart this earth, you were beautiful all the way till the last minute.
That's right. And, we so need to be reminded of that. We're actually going to be heading to break in a minute here, but we need to be reminded of that, because there are messages that we see every single day that are just the opposite of that. And this is our lead into our first break here. So stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes with our special guest, Cindy Joseph, as we talk about embracing our beauty at all ages.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Have you been searching for a perspective beyond the mainstream? Check it out. Join your hosts Cielito Pascual and Diana Gold Holland on Share International Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us at shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for.
Are you seeking answers to life questions? Would you like to connect to a departed loved one? Are you suffering from pain, stress, or anxiety? Kimberly Thalkin is a tested, certified, and professional psychic, spiritual medium, energy healer, hypnotherapist, and the founder of Love First, where life transformations happen. Love First services support, guide, and empower individuals by connecting them to their highest potential to live a healthier, joyful, and meaningful life that's filled with purpose. All services can be done by phone, Skype, or in person in Encino, California. Please visit lovefirst.info. That's LOVEFIRST.info for more information.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. The majority of victims know their attacker. It could be your friend, your neighbor, or someone you met at a party. If you said no, it's rape, and it's a crime. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Call the National Sexual Assault Hotline today at 1-800-656-HOPE or visit RAIN.org. That's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
And Welcome back to Inspired Living with Mark and Kim and our special guest today, Cindy Joseph. Cindy, thank you for being with us. Before we went to break, we were talking about the importance of embracing who we are at every age. And what I was in the process of saying there was that it's so great to be reminded of your message, because every day we're actually bombarded with messages that convey just the opposite, right? What society thinks we should be embracing. And you're going against that, saying, hey, wait a second, no, we need to wear our badges with honor, right? Whether it's a wrinkle, a fine line, a scar, things of that nature, right?
Yes, absolutely. They're our badges, and they have shown, they're the signs that we have lived a rich, passionate, busy, exciting life. And it's time to start considering them positive instead of negative. And we're given these messages from the day we're born that aging is bad, yet we're told living is wonderful. And we start living the minute we're born, and we start aging the minute we're born. And we continue aging until the day we die. So aging is really just another word for living.
I love that. How these paradigms, and we're talking about a pretty significant paradigm shift from how we've been conditioned to think about things. So, especially, I mean, I'm out here in Los Angeles. You're in New York. These are pretty tough areas to combat those messages, right? And so, how do we do that? What are some of the ways that we can best embrace some of these messages that you're talking about?
Well, first off, I think it's not a matter of fighting. I think it's it's not a matter of running away from something. I think it's a matter of being compassionate and realize how self-critical we have been as a society and a group and as individuals. We will purchase a painting or a photograph of an old Native American woman at the potter's wheel, or we'll hang a picture of Georgie O'Keeffe on our wall where she's 78 years old standing in our studio, and we admire it. We say, look at how beautiful she is. You can see the lines in her face. It shows the map of her life. And then we go look in the mirror and we see one little wrinkle, and we want to obliterate it. It's time to get out the Botox or get out the concealer. And I think it's a matter of paying attention and being more conscious. And being aware of the fact that if our girlfriend or our mother or our grandmother or our aunt came to us and said, oh, I'm so upset, I'm getting so old, I look terrible, what's the first thing we do? We say, Mom, you're so beautiful. Aunt, Anne, you look amazing. I love your wrinkles. I love your skin, and your silver hair is so beautiful. We want to let them know how amazing they look and how much we love them and how powerful and beautiful and wise they are. And the whole package is what we love, not just the wisdom. The whole package is what we love. And have that same love and compassion and understanding and realization when we look in the mirror ourselves. Be as loving to ourselves as we are to the people that we love.
And I love that message, because that's the name of my business, is Love First. And I do believe that everything we came here to learn about in this lifetime centers around love. It's such a very important aspect of our learning and of life. So what about men? Do you think men go through the same experiences, or are they not as concerned about the way they look throughout life?
Well, I think yes and no. I mean, it's important to talk to them and ask them and find out. And our society's, shifting right now. And I think men are maybe more aware of their physicality than they have been in the past. Men have been judged most heavily in the area of accomplishments. And as you age, you add to your accomplishments. So it's a huge generality, but society sees men as becoming more valuable as they age because of that. women have been judged the most heavily in the area of looks, and then been told that as their looks actually fade, disappear, go away. And so we have this sense that we lose our value as we age. Now, the good news is this is all make-believe. It's been completely made up by human beings. And we have the power to change our minds. And what I'm, kind of waking people up to is that fact, number one, that it's our choice, our perspective, and how we want to think and what we want to believe. And that we have the power to change it through getting in a conversation with each other about it and realizing that we're the ones that make those decisions. And also recognizing that what we made up really isn't true. We don't even believe it because we do value our elders. We do value our families. And another thing that I was going to say is about beauty, and women specifically and beauty, is that if you're standing in line at the grocery store or the bank and you see a woman that has a massive amount of makeup on, has clearly taken a tremendous amount of time to pick out their outfit, do their hair, and you sense something uncomfortable there. You sense a lack of joy and fun, and you're experiencing maybe fear and desperation. And right next to her could be a woman with the same amount of makeup on, took just as much time with her outfit and her hair, but she's having a blast. You can tell it was fun for her. And her hair could be in a purple mohawk or in the latest haircut, but there's a joy and a sense of fun there. And one of the things that I like to remind people is, what is motivating you? Is it fear or is it fun? Because if it's fun, you are always going to succeed. If it's fear, it's 50-50 if you're going to get your goal.
And that is also, that's also, as you had pointed out nicely, the energy that we put out there, too, that people pick up on. We can tell if somebody's having a good time or if somebody's putting on an air.
Yes,
they're not coming
absolutely.
from a place of authenticity. So, yeah, that's something that translates energetically to other people, too, that we pick up on one another.
Yeah, so basically you can't pull the wool over anybody's eyes. Everybody knows exactly who you are. They feel it, they see it energetically, physically. And so I'm saying, let's take off the mask. Nobody believes it anyway. Show your true self, open up your heart, open up your face, and, allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to be seen. And there are a lot of people that have counted on makeup and hair and jewelry and all of that and used it to hide behind. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, we see you. Come on out. It's okay. Don't be afraid.
That's right. That's right. I want to remind our listeners here that you can call in live with your questions for our guest today. Our call-in line is 202-570-7057 as we talk today with our special guest, Cindy Joseph. And Cindy, I'd like to talk to you about, you've got a pretty interesting background. Certainly with some of the work that you're doing with Boom and the fact that you started your modeling career at 49.
Yeah.
Don't they? Most people think of modeling as being over at, somewhere in their 20s. I don't know how that industry works, but it's all predicated on mostly on young women, right? I mean,
well, basically, yeah, the fashion industry has always used very young women, and they respond to what society wants. And society was like, yes, yay, we love seeing these young girls wearing the clothes and the jewelry and the hairstyles and everything that we want. And the boomer generation, which I am a part of, I'm 65 years old, we have never accepted the status quo. We have rebelled from day one. We have reinvented our lives every decade. And now we're in our 50s, 60s, and 70s, and we're looking at these ads saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't relate to these people. They're great, they're wonderful, but what about my peer? And the advertisers realized that and decided they were going to start putting boomers in the images of their ads. And they saw me on a street corner one day and said, hey, you want to do it? And I had been in the industry. I'd been making up the fashion models and the celebrities of the time for at least 2.5 decades. And I actually couldn't believe that they wanted me to model, because I had developed the same prejudice, everybody had about models are 18 years old. And I thought they were playing a joke on me. And when I realized it was a real deal, it was like, oh, yes, absolutely, I would love to. So I ended up, what they wanted me for was a Dolce & Gabbana campaign, a worldwide campaign. And it came out 6 months later, and I was getting phone calls from a lot of people in the industry saying, oh, when did you start modeling? What agency are you with? And I was not with an agency. I said I just did it on a fluke. It was a lot of fun. And that was it. Well, they said, guess what? Model agencies are looking for women your age. You've got to call forward models. Please go see them. Let's see what happens, which I did. And that started my now 16-year modeling career. And the modeling career is what inspired me to create Boom, because I started getting approached on a daily basis by women my age, younger women. One 13-year-old yelled out to me, you're my favorite model, I love you, as she went by in a car. And also men, old and young, were approaching me and saying, I saw you in this ad. I put your picture on my refrigerator to tell my wife, look, you can be beautiful at any age. And I realized, wow, this is really hitting people on a very deep level. Everybody wants to know that life gets better. This concept that there's a prime of life, which is another paradigm we've been forced into, is just not true. There is no such thing as a single prime of life, and then life is downhill from there. Life is uphill all the way. Every single moment is your prime.
And hold that thought, Cindy. This is our lead into our second break. We'll be back in 2 minutes as we continue our conversation with CEO and founder of Boom, Cindy Joseph.
The cutting edge of conscious radio, OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
Have you wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on
One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover? One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover? One planet, 7.3 billion people, only one you. Life offers us many opportunities and learning experiences. Are you ready to explore and discover?
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and the other. I'm
and welcome back to Inspired Living with Mark and Kim and our special guest, Cindy Joseph. Cindy, before we went to break, we were talking about a whole lot of great things. We're leading into your founding of your company, Boom. But before we go into that, I just want to make sure that our listeners know where they can find you, learn more about you and your products. And they can find you online at your website at boombycindyjoseph.com. That's boom, BOOM, by cindyjoseph.com. You can find Cindy on social media at Twitter at boomcindijoseph, and Facebook, Boom by Cindy Joseph, and Instagram, Boom by Cindy Joseph. So, Cindy, why don't we continue on where we were talking a little bit about your background and, what inspired you to start Boom, all the wonderful compliments you were getting through your modeling that really let you know that you were making a difference in other people's lives, and how you decided to create Boom and the products that you have through your company.
Yes. And one of the things that happened that was pretty magical, that day I was approached on the street in New York. I had just that morning, cut off the last bit of dye from my hair. And when I was approached to do that modeling campaign, it was like the universe saying, "You go, girl. You did the right thing. You threw that bottle of dye in the wastebasket." And I'm not saying every woman has to do that. I think the most important thing is that each woman honor herself and do what has her feel the best, because what makes a woman attractive is feeling good. It's not really the shape of your nose or the size of your derriere or what kind of makeup you have on. It really has to do with your energy and how much fun you're having in life. And that's the most important thing. So if you want to dye your hair black, blonde, silver, purple, or leave it natural, it's entirely up to each individual woman. And I just think that, going for what's pleasurable in life. So I was a makeup artist for 27 years, and then I've now been modeling for 16 years. And I had a young man living with me who was the son of friends of mine, and he was always coming up with some new idea to start a career or create a business. And he came up to me one day and he said, "What if you took your makeup career, everything you've done, and your modeling career, and put them together and created a cosmetic line?" And I said, "The world does not need another tube of lipstick. Great idea, but keep thinking." And off he went. And then I started thinking about cosmetic companies and what their messages were. They're all marketed towards a little bit different demographic. It might be the girl next door, the athlete, the professional woman, the lady at lunch. But every single one of them were against aging, physical aging, cover the wrinkles, conceal, fix, alter, camouflage. And I thought, oh my gosh, I want to create a cosmetic line that says, let your beauty shine through. Don't try to alter your features. What you look like right now is perfect. And when you're happy, you get color and you get a dewiness to your skin and a radiance. Let's just create that with the cosmetics and make sure that they're safe, that the ingredients are sustainable and safe for your skin. And that's how Boom was born, the very first pro-age cosmetic line.
And it just seemed, I loved his idea because it just seemed like a natural extension of all of the knowledge that you had to share around these topics and what you could create from that. And, just listening to you talk, it feels very liberating to have that mindset. I say that because I'm not quite there yet. I'm still dyeing my hair. I'm still doing the over-the-counter stuff. But I can only imagine that it must feel very liberating to be in that place. With that said, Cindy, we do have a guest that is a listener that's calling in. Gail has a question for you. And if we can bring Gail live to air. I know Mark is working feverishly to make this happen.
Wonderful.
Okay. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Gail. So glad you're participating today. How can we help you?
Thank you. Yes, I've been listening to Cindy. I really enjoy her message, and I have a specific question. As a business owner myself, I'm on Facebook Live a lot, and I do not put any makeup on. I don't change up my blouse. It's just me. I'm just going on Facebook Live, and I wonder what your thoughts are around that, and if you feel like people who go on Facebook Live should really try to look their best with makeup and hair and maybe change their blouse or just in the moment pop on. What are your thoughts on that?
That is such a great question. I think it's exciting to do exactly what you feel like doing in the moment. And if you want to go on raw, no makeup, and just, throw on whatever you had on during the day, I think it's spontaneous, it's authentic, it's real, and you can talk about it. You can say, yo, here I am. I didn't do a thing to come on here. I just really wanted to tell you this, idea or whatever it is you wanted to share. And on another day, you may feel different. You may decide, you know what? I'm going to present myself with a little polish. I'm going to maybe throw on a little lipstick and a couple, earrings or whatever. I think it's your prerogative, and you do exactly what makes you feel good, because that is what's going to come across. How much pleasure you are taking in what you are doing.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate the validation, because I always wonder about that, but did it anyway.
Oh, I totally get it. Talk to your girlfriends, honey. Always get a little feedback from them. It helps to get reality.
Thank you so much for calling, Gail. You see, you were using your own inner wisdom, and it led you down the right path.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in, Gail. So, Cindy, tell us a little bit about your products at Boom and what our listeners might be able to find on your website, boombycindyjoseph.com, because not only do you have your products, but speaking of being live on video, you also do a video blog with all kinds of different topics that you touch on Saturdays.
Yes, absolutely. Just like your caller called in and had a specific question for me. All of my customers and fans have a lot of questions, and I thought it would be a really fun way to answer them all, because I couldn't sit and, email each one of them. So I would take specific questions that I thought would be universal, and however I responded to them would be interesting to everybody paying attention. And so I started the video blog. It was a couple years ago, and I just opened up my computer and used photo booth video on my Apple computer. And just as Gail said a minute ago, I just popped on however I was that day, and it was really fun to relate with an audience like that, and ended up doing about 61 of them. And some of them I'm just sharing YouTube videos I liked, and some of them I'm talking very seriously about some very sensitive subjects, and others I'm demoing the makeup that I created. So it's been a lot of fun, and the feedback has been amazing, because I am not interested in putting anything out there no one's interested in. And the response was so enthusiastic that it just fed me and kept me going and kept the wind in my sails. And I just continued through I think there's about 62 or 63 of them. And now we're doing live streaming, and we just finished shooting footage in Hawaii with our beekeepers, who actually make Boom Silk and a number of our products, and showed them how it goes from the hive to the jar. And we're still editing. It's not out yet. But after we shot it, I was so excited that day. We did a quick live streaming video all about what had happened, and that's now up on the website. So it's been a blast, and it's very interactive. We've really created a community of people that are interested in the pro-age revolution and freeing themselves of feeling like they have to fit into an American beauty ethic that has very narrow parameters. It's kind of like stuffing a square peg in a round hole. And, just freeing up, just letting go and having more fun. And the cosmetics themselves, I'm very, very proud of. We have a skincare line and a couple little cosmetics, which I will describe to you. But one of the things I noticed about women is that we gather around things that might be considered somewhat superficial. It could be a sweater sale. It could be cosmetics. It could be a cake sale. And we get together, and when we start relating, we go into very profound and deep subjects. And we want to feed the poor and create world peace and get everybody in our community healthy and happy and safe. And so it's kind of fun to have created something like a skincare line where we gather and then we start relating about the things that are really, really important. And that's what Boom is all about. It's a gathering center. It's a community. It's a place to relate about all of these subjects. So thank you for having me on your show. I mean, and being able to talk about this publicly because it's so, so important.
Well, yes, and I just love what you're doing with your products. So it's all natural ingredients. It's environmentally friendly and also animal friendly, meaning that it
cruelty free.
Cruelty free.
Yes.
Oh, we just love that. Yeah.
So for me, it was really, really fun to get together with biochemists and our beekeepers and create these formulas for products that I feel good about, that I want to put on my skin. And having been a makeup artist for, 25 years, I had talked to the dermatologist. I found out what works, what doesn't work, what's safe, what is not safe. And some of the things we think sound really scary are actually very safe, and other things that we thought, oh, yeah, I've been using this for years. My mother used it. My grandmother used it. And it ends up that those particular chemicals are not so safe. And what we put on our skin goes into our system.
And hold that thought, Cindy. We're leading into our third and final break of the hour. Stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes as we continue our conversation with Cindy Joseph. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Dr. Kevin here, and I want to invite you every Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, to join me on the Dr. Kevin Show, where we have a diversity of guests who help you step outside the box, behind the curtain, and see what a load of crap is going on in the world today, so you have more information with which to make better decisions. We'll see you there. Namaste.
There is no death, only a change of worlds. Chief Seattle. Deborah Livingston is an award-winning intuitive psychic medium whose international services include mediumship, spiritual assessment, animal communication, and spiritual mentoring. She is a published author and a trained shaman. Deborah provides evidential messages from spirit and departed loved ones. Learn more at deblivemedium.com. That's DEBLIV medium.com.
What's up? This is Brad and Mike from Lincoln Park for Life Beat, the music industry fights AIDS.
Listen up, times are tough and you get a lot of things thrown your way. If you're being pressured to have sex and you're not ready, then say no. If you're having sex, be smart and use protection. Respect yourself and protect yourself.
For more information, call the National AIDS Hotline at 1-800-342-AIDS or log on to www.lifebeat.org.
And welcome back, everybody, to Inspired Living Radio with Mark and Kim. Our very special guest, Cindy Joseph, cover model, makeup artist, and founder and CEO of Boom. So right before the break, Cindy, you were talking about what kind of products, real quick for the Inspired listeners, that should be in, should not be in the products that you are promoting?
Yeah, ingredients. There are a lot of preservatives like phthalates and parabens that we've discovered are not safe at all. There are emulsifiers, which keep things blended together, and binders. And now people are becoming more aware of the negative response to soy products and gluten. The list goes on. And I think it's good to say what is good, because the list of what is not so good is huge. And, take your basic moisturizer. A lot of people feel they want a moisturizer, they like a moisturizer, or they've been convinced that they have to have a moisturizer because the fear of God has been put in them that if they don't use one, something bad's going to happen. Well, our skin knows how to moisturize itself. If you get exercise, sun, rest, you eat a good diet, and you get plenty of fats and lots of water, your skin will moisturize itself. And we have also noticed that as life continues on, our bodies become a little less efficient at moisturizing themselves. It also depends on your particular genetics, your ancestry, and where you live, the climate and the weather around you. So if you feel you need a moisturizer and you're going to lather your body with a substance, you want to make sure that substance is safe, that the ingredients are things that you might actually feel okay if you had ingested them. Because what you put on your skin goes into your organs. Otherwise, the patches wouldn't work. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
What's very obvious actually doesn't seem so obvious. So that's really how it works. And so we try to keep all the bad things out and all the goodies into our products. And we keep them as clean and safe as possible. And you can read, we have all the ingredients lists posted. You can print them out and take them to your doctors, to your healers, whoever you trust, and you can read about them online. We are completely transparent, and there are areas where we would like our products to be even more pure, and we are working on them all the time.
And one more plug for your website where folks, our inspired listeners, can go to check out all of the products that you're talking about.
BoomByCindyJoseph.com. And make sure you watch the demo videos. These products are so simple and easy to use. They need an explanation. And I've had people say, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if they're right for me. And then I say, watch the demo videos. And as soon as they watch them, they have the aha moment and everything's good to go. And we have a small selection of products. It's not going to overwhelm you. We don't have 20 different moisturizers. We actually have one. And then we made a less oily version because some of our customers thought, I love this stuff so much, but my face is already kind of shiny. It doesn't need to be any shinier. So we've got Boom Silk. It's head to toe. Whatever you put on your lips to moisturize them, on the delicate skin around your eyes, or on your heels and your elbows. Your skin is the same from top to bottom. You only need one moisturizer. Boom Silk, Boom Cotton. And then we've got 3 little boom sticks, which basically can replace every single thing in your makeup bag. It's really cool because they're all multitaskers.
I love it.
1 stick for color, 1 stick for a little bling, and 1 stick for moisturizer. And that's it.
Simplicity, less is more. I love it. And I got a couple questions for you, Cindy, as we get into the last section of the show here.
Okie doke.
The name Boom. Now, you said that you were a baby boomer. Does the name Boom itself come from that, or where does Boom come from?
I love that question. I started out calling it Boom for that exact reason. Baby boomers. And then I realized I'm committing reverse ageism. I'm leaving out all those women under 45 years old. And they want to know the future is good. They want to know that aging is positive. And they want healthy, fun, wonderful products. So I decided I'm going to keep the name Boom, but Boom is also the sound of an explosion, which represents a revolution. It's the sound of a revolution, and this is the pro-age revolution. You are the right age. You are the right size. You are the right color. You are the right shape. And every woman wants to know that in her heart of hearts.
Fantastic. And I loved earlier in the section when you were talking with Kim about the illusion of, what society would have us believe. And I'm right along with that. I always tell people that we are like a fine wine. We get better with age. And the fear that we do have in society, which I always say fear is false evidence appearing real. And it's funny because I didn't realize when I was researching your background before we had you on the show, Cindy, I actually had seen you on a cover of Experience Life. You actually, because I do a lot of hiking and a lot of backpacking, and you were actually wearing I think it was like a green backpack on the cover, if I remember correctly, and it was talking about power aging. I'm not sure how old that article is, but what I love...
2006, and you are exactly right. I'm amazed. You must have photographic memory.
Well, it's just what I love about doing radio and what I love about Inspired Living Radio and the work that Kim and I are doing is you never know who you're going to talk with. You'll see somebody on a magazine cover, and then you said 2006 was the year of that?
Yes.
So 2016. So 10 years later, here we are talking on the air, and I love that. And I appreciate that. But what I want to do as well for the Inspired listeners all around the world is to have them get to know you real quick on some of the things. For example, what is Cindy's favorite food?
I love raspberries. I love papaya and watermelon, and they're all three at the top.
And they probably help with the skin as well. The largest organ on the body, right?
There you go.
Fresh fruits, what we put into our bodies. How about what foods don't you like?
Ooh, any type of organ from an animal, liver has got to be like the worst.
Liver and onions. You might as well throw onions in there.
Well, I love grilled onions.
just not with the liver.
Exactly.
And as far as your journey, and I think you said you've been doing this cover model for, was it 16 years, did you say?
16 years.
16 years. What has really stood out in that journey for you? What's a memory or an experience that really stands out for you?
Women standing before me with tears in their eyes, tears of joy, and showing me 3 inches of growing out their silver hair and thanking me.
Powerful. That's awesome. And what book are you reading currently?
I am reading Shantaram. It's a book. I don't know if you know it.
I don't know.
It's an amazing journey. I actually can't think of the author offhand right this second, and he is a powerful writer, incredibly descriptive, and it's very personal about his life. He was a con, and he escaped from jail, and he went to India, and experiencing India and how his life changed. It's amazing. His name is Gregory Robert.
Gregory Robert. And what is the name of the book again?
Shantaram. 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 It took me a while to get into it. It's a very big book. I bought a used copy and I ripped it in half so I could travel with it because I couldn't carry the whole thing around.
That's awesome. And one final question for you as we start to wrap up the show. Who inspires you? Who do you look up to, or, a mentor that maybe, has helped you on your journey?
All the people on the planet that we don't know about who are living rich, passionate, meaningful lives, which is really everyone. Everybody's journey and everybody's path is important. And everybody is my hero.
Oh, I love that. And did you have a mentor on this 17-year process of jumping in later in life into the model industry? It's kind of like, jumping in the deep end of the pool and all of a sudden everybody's coming at you wanting to be on magazines. Did you have a mentor that really helped guide you through that?
My agency is amazing. The woman that I first called and said, people are telling me to do this, and she very quickly said, "What's your height? What's your age? What's your size?" And I was so confronted and flabbergasted. And then I just said, "You know what, Patty? Thank you for asking. And you're not going to hurt my feelings. If you tell me this is not something I can do, my ego's not tied up in it. People are pushing me in this direction. If it's meant to be, it will happen." And she and I just became so close, and she ended up representing me for the 10 years I was with Ford, and now the 6 years I've been with Iconic Focus. She's been wonderful. Other models my age, we've been mentoring each other. I have a group of teachers who I'm living with at the moment at Lafayette Morehouse. Powerful teachings from a man who has passed away. My kids have been my teachers. Wow. I mean, I have a wonderful life coach right now who is remarkable all along the way. I've held hands with people pulling me up, and I've held hands with people that I'm pulling up. I think, you know, we are teachers, we are mentors, we are students, we are followers, and look around and you can see them all.
Yeah. Well, I think, Cindy, we will leave it at that. That's very inspiring. And boom, thank you for being on Inspired Living Radio today. We'd love to have you back.
Cindy. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
What a fun show. Next week, we have our special guest, Rupa Mehta, talking all about children's mental and physical health. This is going to be a very important show, specifically for the next generation coming up. So you'll want to tune in next Wednesday, or we like to say Wisdom Wednesday, to Inspired Living Radio here on OMTimes at 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. Until then, everybody, be kind, be caring, be compassionate. Namaste.